I apologize for that. My phone rang and it cut off my video. So did you think that she did not want to go, that she was thinking, let's go after school because you won't get in trouble if you do it after school? Harry said, he shook his head, and he said, half of you ride the bus. This is the only time we can all go together. When Song Lee didn't say anything, Harry knew she was thinking hard about what to do. It's for the sake of science, he pleaded. It will be our own secret field trip. No one will tell where we went. We made a promise about that, remember? We're not going to Timbuktu, just a couple of yards beyond the fence. Mary put her hands on her hips. 5 yards is not just a couple of yards, Harry Spooger, she barked. And what kind of mushrooms are in the kingdom anyway? Ordinary ones, like the kind in tuna noodle casserole? I'm not going under the fence to see those boring beige ones. Harry pointed a finger at Mary. I guarantee you the mushrooms are not ordinary. And they're not boring. They're stinkhorns. Stinkhorns, we replied. They're slimy and smelly too, Harry added. Mary took a deep breath. I bet I'll hate them. Are you getting the feeling that Mary is not very optimistic? She kind of sees the glass half empty. Harry nodded. Probably. But if you hate them, you'll have something to write about. Mary made a tent with the tips of her fingers. She mumbled. Miss Mackle is expecting a story from me this afternoon, and I would be writing about something different. I don't want to let her down. Maybe I'll make a quick visit to see the stinkhorns. Then she added, but if I do, I'm going last. Why do you think she wanted to go last? I think she wanted to go last because she wanted to see if maybe if they got caught, it wouldn't be her, one of the first ones. If she went last, she has a better chance of not getting caught. What do you think? Hole in the fence. And I have a feeling that that's a picture of the mushrooms. Sydney scooted under the fence while the rest of us made our human wall. Act like nothing's happening, Mary snapped. Suddenly we heard groans coming from Sydney. After he crawled back under the fence, he swayed back and forth. Ugh! The smell! Stinkhorns are gross. Well, at least we know how they got their name. Stinkhorns. The next thing he did was fall flat on the playground, and he acted like he was dead. Get up, Sid, Mary scolded. You'll call attention to what we're doing. Sydney acted like Mary was a drill sergeant. He jumped up, clicked his heels together, and joined our human wall. Dexter scooted through the hole, and then Ida went. When I looked at my watch, I noticed we didn't have much recess time left. Song Lee, I said, you and I had better go together. There won't be enough time otherwise. Song Lee agreed. She and I scrambled under the fence, then raced over to Harry. He was kneeling on the ground. think this brings us to the cover page. What do you think? Behind the tree, welcome to the kingdom of mushrooms, guys. Take a look at these babies. Song Lee's eyes were as big as mine. It was like nothing we had ever seen before. 3 mushrooms poked through the earth like white thumbs, wearing olive green slimy helmets. Stinkhorn mushrooms are cool. Huh, Harry said. Song Lee giggled and nodded. She loved slimy things, like Harry did. I wasn't so crazy about them. My grandma and I spotted a whole bunch of them in our hike last Sunday in the woods, Harry exclaimed. She had this neat mushroom guidebook and is teaching me the names. Smell the top of them. Song Lee kneeled down and put her nose real close. After she inhaled, she smiled at Harry. It takes this one back with me. I'll take this one back with me to make a slide. Ugh, I groaned. These mushrooms smell worse than rotten eggs. No wonder the flies are buzzing around them. Oh, they smell like rotten eggs. They must smell disgusting. It's a putrid smell. Putrid is when something smells rotten, Harry explained. That's what Grandma said. The putrid smell didn't seem to bother Song Lee at all. She used Harry's magnifying glass to get an even closer look. There are tiny holes in the stem of the mushrooms, like a sponge. Yeah, Harry agreed. Hurry up, you two, Mary whispered. The bell's gonna ring any minute now, and I won't get a turn if you don't come back. Song Lee ripped off a small part of the olive green cap as she hurried back under the fence. 3 years later, Mary snarled, it's finally my turn. 3 years later, it means that they took a long time to come back, and it felt like 3 years. We all watched Mary get down on her knees and try to squeeze under the wire fence. She had a little trouble, so she gave her rear end a nudge with the back of her legs. She wasn't gone long. When she returned, she had one comment. I know why they call them stinkhorns. They really stink. Just as the bell rang, Harry popped up. We slapped each other high five. Then we raced across the playground. I told you it would be a piece of cake, Harry bragged. Why do they give each other high fives? I think because they didn't get caught. When we got back to the classroom, we had 15 minutes of activity time. No one said anything that made us nervous. Song Lee and I made another slide with the specimen from our stinkhorns. Harry got out the eye encyclopedia for insects. He wanted to draw lice and ticks for the writing wall. Suddenly, the teacher's voice shattered our concentration. Who's tracking in all this mud on our brand new yellow moon rug? The teacher asked, just look at those dirty footprints. Where could they have come from? There is no mud on the playground. We all looked desperately at Harry. The mud gremlins, he mumbled. Tomorrow, you will read about the mud gremlins.